It often begins with something so ordinary that no one would ever suspect danger. Imagine this. A 68-year-old woman named Mrs. Han had just finished her nightly routine. She believed she was doing everything right, light stretching, a warm shower, and then a small bowl of fruit before bed. She had always heard fruit was the healthiest snack. Yet just after midnight, she suddenly woke up with her legs trembling uncontrollably. When she tried to stand, her knees buckled beneath her. Her husband, alarmed, rushed to support her as she clutched the wall, whispering that her muscles felt like wet paper. What seemed like a harmless nighttime habit had quietly set her up for a frightening health scare. As a longevity doctor, I've seen countless seniors experience sudden weakness, unexplained cramps, and even dangerous falls in the middle of the night. Many blame aging itself or assume it's simply poor circulation, but the truth is often more surprising. In Mrs. Han's case, it wasn't medication, dehydration, or lack of exercise. It was the fruit she ate right before bedtime. You see, the aging body processes food differently. Muscles already vulnerable to sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass after 60, rely on carefully balanced electrolytes and steady protein turnover. When certain fruits are consumed at night, they can disrupt this fragile system. High sugars, sharp acids, or hidden enzyme activity interfere with muscle repair processes that are most active during sleep. Instead of rebuilding strength, the body is forced to fight instability. What seniors believe is a healthy evening snack may in fact accelerate muscle fatigue. Picture yourself lying in bed, thinking you're giving your body nourishment, while in reality, your muscles are struggling to recover from the day's wear. This mismatch creates the perfect storm. Seniors wake up weaker, stiffer, and more prone to accidents. For Mrs. Han, it was a fall risk. For others, it may be night cramps, restless legs, or even a dangerous collapse on the way to the bathroom. Before we go further, I need you to understand this clearly: not all fruits are bad. The danger lies in timing and in how your aging body processes them at night. That's why so many older adults feel fine eating fruit in the morning, yet weak and shaky after enjoying the same fruit before bed. And this is the reason I am urging you to pay close attention. If you are over 60, your evening fruit habit may be silently undermining your muscle health. What looks like a wise choice could be the very thing leaving you weaker by morning. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Today I'm going to walk you through the specific fruits that may be quietly damaging your muscles when eaten at night, and show you safer alternatives that will keep your strength intact. And the first culprit on the list is one that almost every senior keeps in their kitchen, believing it to be perfectly safe. Muscle health after 60 is a fragile balance. By this age, sarcopenia has already begun to take its toll, reducing both the size and the strength of muscle fibers. Scientists estimate that adults lose as much as 1% of their muscle mass every year after the age of 60. This means that a simple stumble can turn into a fracture, or an ordinary day of gardening can leave you sore and shaky. While exercise and protein intake are crucial, what often gets overlooked is the timing of certain foods, and this is where fruit becomes unexpectedly harmful. Let me share the story of Mr. Raymond, a 72-year-old retired carpenter. He was diligent about his health. He walked every morning, took his prescribed medications, and prided himself on avoiding processed snacks. Every night before going to sleep, he enjoyed what he thought was the perfect choice, a banana. He liked its sweetness and softness, easy to chew with aging teeth. For years, this was his nightly ritual, but slowly he began noticing something troubling. At first, it was subtle, an unusual heaviness in his legs when he stood up at night. Then more frequent calf cramps woke him from deep sleep. One evening, after getting up to use the restroom, his legs gave out completely. He described the feeling as if his muscles were locked in place. When we reviewed his habits, the pattern became clear. His banana before bed routine was working against him. Here's why. Bananas are often praised as a source of potassium, and for good reason. Potassium is essential for healthy muscle contraction and nerve signaling. But in aging bodies, the balance between potassium and sodium becomes delicate. At night, when the body shifts toward rest and muscle repair, an excess of potassium can overstimulate the nerves and muscles, making them fire unpredictably. Instead of allowing smooth, restorative contractions, the muscles seize into cramps or spasms. For younger adults, the kidneys efficiently regulate this balance overnight, flushing out excess potassium as needed. But after 60, kidney function naturally slows. This means potassium lingers longer in the bloodstream, and its effects on muscle fibers become more pronounced. That's why Mr. Raymond, and many like him, felt strong during the day but weak or cramped at night. Adding to the problem is how bananas interact with insulin. Bananas contain natural sugars which, when eaten close to bedtime, trigger an insulin response. At night, your metabolism is slower, so blood sugar and insulin levels stay higher for longer. This combination, elevated insulin with excess potassium, creates an unstable environment for muscle recovery. Instead of repairing micro tears from the day's activities, muscles remain tense, unable to fully relax and rebuild. You might wonder, but aren't bananas healthy? Don't athletes eat them for energy and cramp prevention? And the answer is yes, but timing matters. For an athlete in their 20s or 30s, eating a banana before a workout can provide quick energy and replenish electrolytes. For a senior at night, however, it can have the opposite effect, fueling cramps, weakness, and even falls. Mr. Raymond's case wasn't unique. Another patient, Mrs. Lopez, 69. A retired teacher, came to me complaining of charley horses that struck her calves almost every night. She kept a banana on her bedside table, believing it was the cure. In truth, it was part of the cause. Once she shifted her banana consumption to mornings paired with yogurt or nuts, her nighttime cramps faded within weeks. So what's the lesson here? Bananas are not the enemy, but for seniors, they should be enjoyed earlier in the day. Pairing them with protein or fat helps stabilize blood sugar and allows potassium to work beneficially, not disruptively. But eaten late at night, they can undermine muscle recovery when your body most needs rest. And here's the real danger. Seniors often dismiss these cramps or moments of weakness as just old age. But these nighttime muscle disruptions increase fall risk dramatically. A sudden cramp while walking to the bathroom can lead to a tumble, and a tumble can lead to a hip fracture, the kind of injury from which many never fully recover. If the thought of bananas at night surprised you, brace yourself. The next fruit is even more deceptive. Many people think of it as refreshing, even cleansing after dinner. Yet its acidic punch can silently strip away your body's ability to strengthen bones and muscles while you sleep. And this fruit is sitting in nearly every kitchen fruit basket. Citrus fruits are often seen as symbols of vitality. A glass of orange juice at breakfast, a slice of grapefruit after dinner, these habits feel refreshing, natural, and even virtuous. For decades, seniors have been told that citrus provides vitamin C to boost immunity, ward off colds, and fight inflammation. But what happens when these acidic fruits are consumed at the wrong time of day, especially at night? The answer may shock you. Instead of building strength, citrus can erode your body's ability to repair and protect your muscles. Take the case of Mrs. Park, a 74-year-old grandmother who loved her evening ritual. After dinner, she would peel an orange, sit by the television, and savor each juicy segment. She felt good about it. After all, she wasn't reaching for cookies or chips. Yet over time, she noticed her legs felt strangely heavy when she tried to stand up from her chair in the mornings. She brushed it off as arthritis. But one night, after eating her usual orange, she woke with intense calf cramps that jolted her out of sleep. Her daughter later told me she could hear her mother cry out in pain. Why would an innocent orange or grapefruit create this outcome? The explanation lies in how aging bodies manage acidity and calcium. Calcium is not only the mineral that builds bones, it is also vital for proper muscle contraction. Muscles contract when calcium flows into the muscle fibers, and they relax when calcium is pumped back out. This delicate rhythm depends on balance. Citrus fruits, while rich in vitamin C, are also highly acidic. When consumed at night, their acids can disrupt calcium balance. In younger adults, the body quickly buffers acidity, but seniors experience a reduced capacity for this buffering because kidney and bone function are weaker. As a result, calcium is leached from bones and tissues to neutralize the acids, leaving less available for muscles during their nightly recovery phase. Instead of entering a cycle of repair and strengthening the muscles, face microscopic calcium shortages that weaken their contraction and relaxation abilities. Another factor is citrus's effect on the digestive system at night. The citric acid in oranges and grapefruits increases stomach activity. This might not sound like a problem, but digestion at night diverts blood flow away from muscles, just when they should be repairing tiny tears from daily use. Essentially, the body becomes preoccupied with digesting acid instead of restoring muscle tissue. For Mrs. Park, this meant waking up every morning with tighter, weaker legs despite her good intentions. Some citrus fruits carry an additional hidden danger. Grapefruit, for example, contains compounds known as furanocoumarins. These interfere with the enzymes that break down medications in the liver. For seniors on common prescriptions, such as statins for cholesterol or blood pressure, drugs grapefruit eaten at night can amplify medication levels unpredictably. The result may be sudden dizziness, muscle weakness, or even dangerous interactions that leave you unsteady on your feet. I recall another patient, Mr. Alvarez, 70, who loved half a grapefruit after his evening walk. He was also on blood pressure medication. Within weeks, he complained of feeling lightheaded when standing up and his leg muscles felt unusually fatigued. Testing showed his medication levels were far higher than intended, all because the grapefruit he ate each night was blocking the normal breakdown of his pills. He had unknowingly created a dangerous situation that placed both his muscles and his balance at risk. Now you may be asking, does this mean I should never eat oranges or grapefruits again? Not at all. The key is timing. Citrus fruits are far safer in the morning or early afternoon when your metabolism is active and when your muscles are not depending on the nighttime recovery window. Eating citrus earlier gives your body time to use the vitamin C for collagen repair and immune support without interfering with calcium balance or medication metabolism during sleep. So what's the lesson? Even the healthiest seeming fruits can backfire if eaten at the wrong time of day. Seniors often think replacing dessert with citrus is a smart choice, but at night the acids and hidden compounds can quietly erode strength, trigger cramps, and even complicate medication safety. And if oranges and grapefruits surprised you, wait until you hear what happens with another fruit that's almost always considered harmless. Sweet, bite-sized, and often offered as a bedtime snack. Grapes may be silently weakening your muscles by spiking your blood sugar while you sleep. Grapes are the picture of health in most people's minds. They're small, sweet, hydrating, and easy to digest. Many seniors keep a bowl of grapes on the kitchen counter, popping a handful after dinner, or even taking them to bed as a light snack. After all, they're just fruit. What harm could they possibly do? Yet for older adults, especially those already battling muscle loss, grapes at night can quietly sabotage the very system that keeps muscles strong and stable. Consider the story of Mr. Johnson, a 66-year-old retired bus driver. He was proud of his healthier habits. Years of long hours behind the wheel had left him overweight, but after retirement, he tried to make better choices. He gave up soda, cut down on fried foods, and swapped cookies for grapes after dinner. He told me he felt virtuous eating fruit instead of junk. But after several months, he noticed something unsettling. His legs felt shaky in the mornings. Sometimes, when climbing stairs, his thighs quivered like jelly. On 2 occasions, he had to grab the railing to avoid falling. He couldn't understand it. He thought he was eating healthier. The explanation lies in how grapes affect blood sugar. Grapes are loaded with natural sugars, particularly glucose and fructose. When eaten late in the evening, these sugars rapidly enter the bloodstream. For younger adults, insulin quickly ushers the sugar into cells for use or storage. But in seniors, insulin sensitivity declines with age. The pancreas works harder to produce insulin, yet the muscles and tissues respond less effectively. This means blood sugar levels stay higher for longer. At night, this becomes especially problematic. While you sleep, your body's metabolism naturally slows, and muscles enter their repair phase. They rely on stable blood sugar to fuel protein synthesis and repair microtears from the day. But when grapes flood the bloodstream with sugar, insulin surges in response. Instead of feeding muscles, this insulin spike drives sugar into fat storage and destabilizes blood sugar levels throughout the night. Muscles deprived of steady fuel wake up weaker and more fatigued. Mr. Johnson's wobbly thighs were not simply old age. They were the result of his body fighting unstable blood sugar swings all night long. And he is far from alone. I've seen countless seniors develop restless legs, nighttime cramps, or early morning weakness simply because of late-night fruit snacking. Grapes with their deceptively high sugar load are one of the worst offenders. There's another hidden layer. Insulin spikes also reduce growth hormone release. Growth hormone is critical for tissue repair, including muscles, and it's released in pulses during deep sleep. High nighttime insulin suppresses this hormone, cutting off one of the body's most important recovery signals. So instead of entering a deep healing sleep, seniors who eat grapes at night remain stuck in shallow cycles, waking up tired and physically weaker. Take the case of Mrs. Nguyen, 70, who often ate a small bowl of red grapes after dinner while watching television. She thought she was helping her heart with the antioxidants in grape skins, but she soon developed persistent leg cramps and restless sleep. Her daughter noticed she was walking more slowly in the mornings, holding her lower back as if it couldn't support her weight. When she switched her grape habit to mornings paired with a protein-rich breakfast, her sleep improved, and her muscles felt steadier within a month. The fruit wasn't the problem, the timing was. Some might argue that grapes are rich in resveratrol, a compound linked to heart and brain health. That's true, but the benefits of resveratrol don't depend on eating grapes at night. In fact, the sugar load far outweighs the potential antioxidant benefits for seniors after sunset. A supplement or a few grapes in the morning can provide those advantages without sabotaging muscle recovery overnight. The bottom line is this: seniors must be cautious about blood sugar swings at night. A handful of grapes may seem harmless, but for a 65 or 70-year-old body, they can trigger a cascade of problems. Unstable, glucose-suppressed growth hormone, poor sleep, and weakened muscles by morning. What feels like a healthy snack may actually be the reason you wake up feeling more frail. If grapes surprised you, the next fruit will shock you even more. It's light, juicy, and refreshing, often eaten in summer evenings to cool down. But its hidden diuretic effect can rob your body of vital electrolytes overnight, leaving your muscles drained of strength by morning. On a hot summer evening, nothing feels more refreshing than a few slices of juicy watermelon. It cools you down, quenches your thirst, and seems like the perfect light snack before bed. For decades, watermelon has carried the reputation of being harmless, just water and sweetness. But for seniors, especially those already battling muscle weakness, this fruit at night may do more harm than good. Let me share the case of Mr. Choi, a 70-year-old retired mechanic. Every night after dinner, he enjoyed a generous bowl of watermelon while sitting on his porch. He believed it helped cleanse his system and keep him hydrated. But over time, he noticed something troubling. His legs felt unusually weak in the mornings, and his sleep was constantly disrupted by multiple trips to the bathroom. One evening, as he got up for the third time to urinate, his calf cramped so severely that he collapsed by the bathroom door. He wasn't hurt badly, but the incident terrified both him and his family. What was happening to him was not just bad luck. It was watermelon's hidden effect at night. Here's why. Watermelon is over 90% water, and its natural sugars make it a mild diuretic. This means it increases urine production. While this might seem beneficial during the day, at night it becomes a dangerous setup. Seniors often already struggle with frequent urination due to aging bladders or prostate issues. Adding watermelon before bed multiplies the problem, forcing the body to wake several times during the night to empty the bladder. Each trip to the bathroom increases the risk of falls, especially when leg muscles are already fatigued. But the danger doesn't stop there. Along with frequent urination comes the loss of electrolytes, especially potassium, magnesium, and sodium. These minerals are essential for muscle contraction, relaxation, and overall stability. When they are flushed out excessively during the night, muscles can't function properly. This explains why Mr. Choi's calf cramped so violently. It was the direct result of electrolyte depletion triggered by his nightly watermelon ritual. Another hidden factor is the strain on the kidneys. In younger adults, kidneys easily manage extra water intake. But in seniors, kidney function declines naturally with age. Drinking or eating high water content foods late at night puts pressure on these organs, forcing them to work harder while the body should be resting. Instead of recovering, the system is overburdened, leaving seniors groggy, dehydrated, and weak the following morning. I also recall Mrs. Daniels, a 68-year-old widow who came to me complaining of rubbery legs. She had no history of diabetes or major illness, but she admitted to eating several slices of watermelon every night during the summer to beat the heat. Her nighttime routine included 3 to 4 trips to the bathroom, and by morning she felt drained. Blood tests showed slightly low sodium and magnesium levels consistent with overnight electrolyte loss. When she stopped eating watermelon at night and instead enjoyed it at lunch, her morning weakness dramatically improved. Some people may point out that watermelon is rich in lycopene and antioxidants which support heart health. That is true, but once again, timing is everything. Eating watermelon in the early part of the day allows the body to enjoy these benefits without triggering nighttime electrolyte imbalances or disrupting deep sleep. Seniors in particular need their restorative sleep to repair muscles, not constant interruptions to run to the bathroom. So what's the lesson here? Watermelon isn't a villain. It's the timing that transforms it into a problem. For older adults, eating watermelon at night increases bathroom visits, drains electrolytes, weakens muscles, and heightens fall risk. These are not small concerns. A single nighttime fall can mean a fractured hip, months of rehabilitation, and even permanent loss of independence. If watermelon at night seems risky, wait until you hear about tropical fruits like papaya and mango. These sweet exotic treats may seem harmless, but their powerful enzymes can overstimulate digestion right when your body is supposed to be resting, stealing the energy your muscles need to heal. For many people, tropical fruits like papaya and mango feel like indulgent treats. Their sweetness, vibrant color, and exotic flavor give the impression of nourishment and luxury. Seniors often hear that papaya aids digestion and that mango is rich in vitamins. These claims are not wrong, but what's rarely discussed is how these fruits, when eaten at night, can overstimulate the digestive system and drain energy away from muscle recovery. Take the case of Mrs. Rivera, a 71-year-old retired nurse. She prided herself on eating clean and natural. After dinner, she often treated herself to a bowl of papaya or sliced mango, believing it was a lighter, healthier choice than desserts. But soon she began waking in the night with an odd, restless tension in her legs. By morning, her muscles felt sore as if she'd been exercising. She thought it might be arthritis, but her symptoms worsened. When she finally came to see me, the culprit turned out to be her nighttime tropical fruit ritual. The problem lies in the unique enzymes found in these fruits. Papaya contains papain, a powerful digestive enzyme that breaks down proteins. Mango, too, contains enzymes like amylase, which rapidly digest carbohydrates. While this may sound beneficial, eating them at night keeps the digestive system active, when it should be winding down. Instead of letting the body channel its resources into deep repair, especially rebuilding muscle fibers, the digestive system is working overtime. For seniors with slower metabolisms, this means muscle recovery is shortchanged. This constant background activity of digestion robs muscles of blood flow and nutrients. During sleep, muscles rely on calm, steady conditions to repair microtears from daily use. But when digestion is overstimulated, blood flow is diverted toward the stomach and intestines. In essence, the muscles are neglected at the very time they most need support. Mrs. Rivera's restless legs were a sign that her muscles were not recovering, but instead entering the new day weaker and more strained. There's also a biochemical angle. Enzymes like papain don't just act on food. They can mildly irritate the lining of the stomach if eaten in excess, especially at night when protective mechanisms are reduced. This irritation can trigger inflammation signals that circulate through the body, further interfering with the calm environment muscles need to rebuild. Seniors with sensitive digestive systems may wake feeling bloated, sore, and unusually fatigued, all linked to something as seemingly harmless as late-night papaya or mango. I recall another patient, Mr. Lee, 67, who adored mangoes. Every summer evening, he would slice one up and enjoy it as a treat before bed. But over time, he noticed his morning walks felt harder. His calves tightened quickly, and he had to rest more often. After discussing his habits, we traced the issue back to his mango ritual. Once he switched to eating mango with breakfast, his morning stamina improved within weeks. The irony is that papaya and mango do contain health-promoting compounds. Papaya is high in vitamin C and antioxidants, and mango is rich in vitamin A and potassium. These can support immunity and heart health when eaten at the right time. Morning or early afternoon consumption allows the body to benefit from these nutrients without undermining nighttime recovery. The problem is not the fruit itself, but the mismatch between what the body needs at night and what these fruits force it to do. Another overlooked issue is blood sugar. Mangoes in particular are very high in natural sugars. Just like grapes, this can spike insulin at night, suppress growth, hormone release, and rob muscles of their prime repair window. Combined with enzyme stimulation, it becomes a double blow to muscle health. So what's the takeaway? Tropical fruits should not be eliminated altogether, but seniors must be strategic. Enjoy them in the morning paired with protein or healthy fat to slow sugar absorption. Avoid them late in the evening when their enzymes and sugars interfere with muscle restoration. And if you thought tropical fruits were a problem, wait until we look at dried fruits. They appear small and innocent, yet they are sugar bombs that when eaten at night can wreak havoc on blood sugar, sleep quality, and morning muscle strength. At first glance, dried fruits seem like one of the healthiest snacks imaginable. They're concentrated versions of whole fruits, packed with fiber, antioxidants, and micronutrients. Many seniors keep a jar of raisins, dates, or dried apricots within reach, believing they're making a smart, natural choice compared to cookies or candy. But what often goes unnoticed is how this very concentration of nutrients, especially sugar, turns dried fruits into silent sugar bombs at night, quietly undermining both sleep and muscle health. Let me tell you about Mrs. Kim, a 73-year-old grandmother. She had always struggled with late-night cravings and decided to replace her evening chocolates with dried fruit. It's just fruit, she reasoned. Reaching for a small handful of raisins or dried mango slices before bed. At first, she was proud of her choice, but gradually she began waking up in the middle of the night with restless, twitching legs. Her sleep was broken, and by morning her thighs felt as if she had climbed a mountain in her dreams. She blamed old age, never suspecting that her healthy dried fruit habit was the trigger. Here's why. Dried fruits are stripped of most of their water, leaving behind dense concentrations of natural sugars, like glucose and fructose. A small handful of raisins, just 40 grams, contains the sugar equivalent of nearly 2 cans of soda. When eaten late at night, this sugar rush sends blood glucose soaring. The body responds with a surge of insulin, But in older adults, insulin sensitivity is already reduced. Instead of efficiently storing or burning that sugar, the body struggles, leading to prolonged spikes and crashes throughout the night. For muscles, this is a disaster. Deep sleep is when growth hormone is released, guiding muscle repair and regeneration. But high nighttime insulin blunts growth hormone secretion, robbing the muscles of one of their most important recovery tools. Instead of rebuilding fibers and regaining strength, the muscles enter the next day, still fatigued, still fragile. That's why Mrs. Kim woke up feeling as though she had exercised hard. Her muscles were overworked, but under-repaired. There's another layer. Sugar fluctuations during the night can trigger a stress response. When blood sugar crashes after an insulin surge, the body releases adrenaline and cortisol to compensate. This can cause restless legs, sudden awakenings, or racing heartbeats. At 2 or 3 a.m., seniors often mistake this for insomnia or anxiety, but in reality, it's their late-night dried fruit habit, keeping their nervous system on high alert. I once treated Mr. Hassan, a 69-year-old retired teacher who loved dried dates. Every night, he ate 3 or 4 before going to bed, convinced they were boosting his energy. But he began noticing morning weakness in his arms and legs, along with disrupted sleep. His wife complained that he tossed and turned constantly. When we removed the dates from his evening routine and shifted them to an afternoon snack instead, his sleep normalized within 2 weeks and his morning strength returned. Dried fruits also pose another hidden problem, that they are sticky and cling to teeth. Seniors already face higher risks of gum disease and tooth decay. Eating dried fruit at night when saliva production is reduced allows sugars to sit longer on teeth, increasing the chance of dental pain and inflammation. Dental pain itself can interfere with chewing protein-rich foods, indirectly worsening muscle loss by making protein harder to consume. Some may argue that dried fruits contain valuable nutrients like iron, potassium, and antioxidants, and they do. But the timing matters more than the content. During the day, especially paired with protein or healthy fat, dried fruits can provide quick energy and micronutrients. At night, however, their sugar density backfires, spiking insulin, blocking growth hormone, and draining muscle strength. So what's the lesson? Seniors must be cautious about dried fruits after sunset. What seems like a tiny innocent handful may carry the sugar load of a dessert, silently sabotaging both sleep and recovery. If dried fruits surprised you, wait until you hear about some seemingly exotic but common choices, like kiwi and pineapple. Their hidden enzymes may overstimulate digestion at night, stealing energy away from your muscles while you sleep. Kiwi and pineapple often carry a halo of health. Many seniors are told these fruits are rich in vitamin C, fiber, and antioxidants that support immunity and digestion. Some even use them as natural remedies for constipation or to cleanse the body after a heavy dinner. But what's less known is that both kiwi and pineapple contain powerful enzymes that can overstimulate digestion, especially harmful when eaten late at night. Instead of supporting muscles, they may silently drain the very energy your body needs for recovery. Let's begin with the story of Mrs. O'Connor, a 70-year-old retired librarian. She loved ending her evenings with something light. Often she would slice a kiwi or enjoy a few chunks of pineapple before bed. She thought this was a safe alternative to sweets. But after months of this habit, she noticed she was waking up stiff, her legs unusually sore. She described it as if she had been running in her sleep. Her daughter noticed she was moving more slowly in the mornings and complained of aching muscles. What was causing this discomfort? It wasn't aging alone. It was her late-night fruit ritual. The key lies in kiwi's enzyme actinidin and pineapple's enzyme bromelain. These enzymes are known for their ability to break down proteins. In fact, bromelain is so strong that chefs use pineapple juice as a meat tenderizer. Actinidin in kiwi has similar properties. While these enzymes can aid digestion during the day, when eaten at night, they overstimulate the stomach and intestines. This keeps the digestive system active when it should be resting, diverting blood flow and energy away from muscle repair. Instead of restoring tissue strength, the body is busy breaking down food long into the night. For seniors, this creates a perfect storm. Aging muscles already face slower protein synthesis, and growth hormone release during deep sleep is one of the few opportunities for repair. But when digestion is overstimulated by enzymes, the sleep cycle is disrupted. Deep sleep may be shortened, growth hormone suppressed, and muscles left undernourished. The result: seniors wake feeling weaker, stiffer, and less steady. I recall another case, Mr. Tanaka, 68, who enjoyed pineapple slices after dinner as a nightly ritual. He believed it helped with digestion, but he began to experience worsening muscle fatigue, especially in his thighs. His morning walks grew shorter, and he needed to rest more frequently. Blood tests revealed no major deficiencies, but his history of late-night pineapple stood out. Once he moved the fruit to lunchtime, his morning fatigue improved noticeably within weeks. His muscles finally had the quiet environment needed to recover overnight. There's also the issue of acidity. Both kiwi and pineapple are acidic fruits. Eating them at night can irritate the stomach lining, especially in seniors prone to acid reflux. This irritation can trigger inflammation signals that spread throughout the body, further interfering with muscle relaxation and healing. Seniors with reflux may not only experience heartburn, but also restless sleep, waking multiple times and preventing deep muscle restoration. Some seniors are drawn to kiwi because it's marketed as a sleep aid thanks to its serotonin content. While it's true that kiwi contains compounds that may support relaxation, the enzyme and sugar load often cancel out these benefits at night. The irony is that what seems like a natural solution for sleep can instead cause fragmented rest and weaker muscles by morning. Pineapple similarly contains natural sugars that spike insulin levels when eaten at night. As we've seen with other fruits, this suppresses growth hormone and disrupts the delicate balance of nighttime recovery. The combination of enzyme stimulation, acidity, and sugar load makes kiwi and pineapple deceptively harmful when consumed before bed. So what's the takeaway? These fruits are not inherently bad, but the timing matters. Enjoy kiwi and pineapple in the morning or early afternoon when their enzymes can assist digestion without interfering with overnight recovery. Paired with protein, they can even support muscle health during the day. But at night, they act as saboteurs, stealing energy away from the very repair processes seniors rely on to stay strong. And if kiwi and pineapple surprised you, prepare for the final warning. Even so-called safe fruits can be a problem when eaten late. In our conclusion, we'll uncover the broader truth about fruit timing, reveal the safest alternatives for evening snacks, and give you clear rules to protect your muscles for years to come. By now, you may be realizing that even fruits widely considered healthy can have hidden consequences when eaten at night. The truth is, our bodies after 60 no longer process foods the way they once did. Kidneys filter more slowly, muscles synthesize protein less efficiently, and hormones like growth hormone and insulin behave differently. What may have been harmless at 30 or 40 can quietly work against you at 70. And few people illustrate this better than Mr. Patel, a 72-year-old retired accountant. For most of his life, Mr. Patel ended his evenings with what he called his sweet blessing, a small bowl of fruit salad. It usually included a mix of bananas, grapes, papaya, and sometimes pineapple, whatever was in season. He believed it kept his heart healthy and his digestion smooth. But after several years, his mornings became increasingly difficult. His legs felt heavy, his arms weak, and his wife noticed he had begun using the furniture to steady himself as he walked across the living room. One morning, while stepping off a curb, his knees gave way and he fell hard, fracturing his wrist. When I reviewed his diet and lifestyle, it became clear his well-intentioned nighttime fruit habit was robbing him of muscular strength and stability. Each fruit he chose carried a hidden problem: potassium overload from bananas, sugar spikes from grapes, enzyme stress from papaya, and acid irritation from pineapple. Eaten together, at night this mixture created the perfect storm: leaving his muscles weaker every morning. This story is not rare. Many seniors guided by advice from decades past continue to believe that fruit is always safe and always beneficial, no matter the time of day. But aging changes everything. What your body tolerates at breakfast can sabotage you at midnight. The key to protecting your muscles is not avoiding fruit altogether, but eating it at the right time and in the right way. Let's look at the science of why this happens. Muscles repair themselves primarily during deep sleep, when growth hormone pulses guide protein synthesis. But fruits eaten late at night, especially those high in sugar or acid, create insulin spikes, digestive overactivity, or electrolyte disturbances. Each of these factors suppresses growth, hormone release, or diverts energy away from muscle repair. Over time, the effect is cumulative. Weaker muscles, more frequent cramps, and a higher risk of falls. I remember another patient, Mrs. Nakamura, 69, who thought dried apricots were the perfect bedtime snack. She had read they contained iron and fiber, but within months, she began experiencing restless legs every night, waking her from sleep. She described her calves as buzzing with electricity. When she switched her dried fruit to a mid-morning snack, instead her symptoms resolved, and her energy in the mornings returned. This simple change timing, not content, was enough to restore her muscle health. It's important to emphasize the danger is not the fruit itself, but the mismatch with the body's nighttime physiology. Fruits rich in sugar raise insulin, fruits high in acid disrupt calcium balance, and enzyme-rich fruits overstimulate digestion. Each of these factors pulls resources away from the muscles at the very moment they should be rebuilding. Seniors who dismiss morning weakness as just old age may be overlooking a simple but powerful cause. So what should you do? First, avoid fruit as a nighttime dessert or late snack. Instead, shift fruit to breakfast or lunch when your metabolism is active and when insulin surges, do less damage. Second, pair fruit with protein or fat, like yogurt, nuts, or cheese, to stabilize blood sugar and reduce the digestive burden. Third, choose fruits wisely. Berries, avocados, and pears tend to be gentler and safer options than tropical acidic or overly sweet fruits. If Mr. Patel had known these principles earlier, he might have avoided his fall. Instead of fruit salad at night, he could have enjoyed Greek yogurt, with a few almonds, preserving his strength and stability. That simple change could have saved him months of recovery and preserved his independence. Now that we've explored the risks of specific fruits, from bananas to grapes, watermelon to pineapple, it's time to bring everything together. In the final section, I'll show you the safest alternatives for evening snacks. Share a list of muscle-friendly fruits you can enjoy and give you clear rules for protecting your muscles while still enjoying the sweetness of nature's gifts. We've now walked through a truth that surprises almost every senior I meet. Fruit, though filled with nutrients, can quietly sabotage your muscles when eaten at the wrong time of day. The body you live in at 60, 70, or 80 is not the same body you had at 30. The way you process sugars, acids, and enzymes has changed. Muscles already vulnerable to sarcopenia depend heavily on restorative sleep-stable electrolytes and steady hormone release to remain strong. But when fruit is consumed at night, these delicate processes are disrupted. Think back to the stories we've shared: Mrs. Han, who collapsed after a late-night fruit bowl; Mr. Raymond, whose nightly banana worsened his cramps; Mrs. Park, who woke with painful spasms after oranges; Mr. Johnson, whose grapes left his legs trembling; and Mr. Choi, whose nightly watermelon drained his strength. These are not isolated incidents. They are living reminders that good intentions can still lead to hidden harm if the timing is wrong. But I don't want you to walk away fearful of fruit. Instead, I want you to leave empowered with knowledge and tools to enjoy fruit safely while protecting your strength. Because the real solution is not to eliminate fruit, but to eat it in harmony with your body's needs. So what are the safe alternatives for seniors who still want something light and nourishing in the evening? Berries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. These are naturally lower in sugar, higher in fiber, and packed with antioxidants. They release energy more slowly, minimizing blood sugar spikes. A small handful of berries in the morning can support brain and muscle health without undermining nighttime recovery. Avocados. Unlike sweet fruits, avocados are rich in healthy fats, potassium, and magnesium, without overwhelming the body with sugar. They support heart and muscle function, and when eaten earlier in the day, provide steady energy that lasts. Apples and pears. These contain gentle fibers that support digestion without overstimulating the stomach. When paired with nut butter or cheese, they offer a balanced snack that fuels muscles. But again, enjoy them earlier breakfast or midday, not before bed. Cherries in moderation and not late cherries do contain melatonin and can support sleep, but they are also high in sugar. A small portion in the afternoon may help regulate sleep cycles without interfering with muscle repair at night. Greek yogurt with seeds or nuts. This is not fruit, but a smart alternative for those evening cravings. The protein in yogurt supports muscle repair, while nuts and seeds add magnesium for muscle relaxation. It's satisfying, stabilizing, and far safer than any sugary fruit at bedtime. With these safe alternatives in mind, here are 3 clear rules for fruit consumption after 60. Rule 1. Eat fruit earlier in the day. Morning and early afternoon are the best windows. Your metabolism is active, your muscles can use the energy, and your insulin response is more efficient. Rule 2. Always pair fruit with protein or fat. This prevents rapid sugar spikes and gives your muscles the nutrients they need for repair. Rule 3. Avoid fruit 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Give your body a chance to enter deep, undisturbed recovery mode. Let your muscles heal without interference from sugar acid or enzymes. As a longevity doctor, I can tell you with confidence that these simple steps can make a profound difference. Seniors who follow them report fewer cramps, steadier mornings, better balance, and more strength for the activities they love. I've seen patients regain their confidence in walking, gardening, and even dancing simply by changing when not what they eat. So let me leave you with this reassurance: your body is resilient even now. The damage done by years of habits can be reversed with awareness and small adjustments. You don't have to give up the sweetness of fruit. You just need to enjoy it in ways that support, not sabotage your health. If you've followed along this far, you've taken an important step toward protecting your independence and vitality. Knowledge is power. And with this knowledge, you can wake up stronger, steadier, and safer. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that more seniors can learn how to protect their strength and live longer, healthier lives. Remember, aging is inevitable, but weakness is not. With the right habits, you can continue to enjoy the life you've built with the strength to carry it forward.